about my top 3 or 4 things to do for your garbage disposal. Some really quick household hacks. It's the holidays, you're getting ready to have company come over, and there's nothing worse than finding out that your garbage disposal stinks. And sometimes there's nothing you can do about it at that moment, or you think there's nothing you can do. So the top number 1, and I don't normally use this kind, but I like the free and clear, so I keep this down there just in case I need something a little stronger. You could use a really thick, say like Dawn or Palmolive or one of those, and put a ton of dishwashing liquid. I mean like a big squirt, multiple squirts. And then you could take something like this and stick down in there and swish it and really try hard to get those arms. You could also use a bottle brush and get down there. You would need to probably throw this away and change the pad on this when you got done. If you decide to do that route, it's quick, it's easy, and you'd almost not be caught doing it. The other thing you could do is ice cubes and kosher salt. You want to be able to throw about a half a cup of kosher salt down into your disposal, and then you would put ice cubes into the disposal. Go ahead and turn on, at first you'd turn on the cold water, and you would just let it just beat up the ice, and that would help knock like residue off, right? It would just totally annihilate, hopefully, any residue that you have in the disposal. So there is a really good one. So I don't know, a cup or 2 of ice cubes. This is probably a little bit more. I just filled up the bowl for you. About 2 cups of ice cubes, about half a cup to a cup of kosher salt, and then just rinse it really, really well after the ice and everything is gone, and run hot water through it really well. Now, not sponsored by any of these companies, mind you, but they do now make a disposal or care, they're little bleach cleaning things that you could do that freshens your disposal. I haven't tried them yet. I've bought them. I'm not sponsored by any one person, so I'm not showing you the name, but you could try to buy something like this. They were pretty inexpensive. I think it was like $3 for the packet. The other thing, and it's one of my top favorite things, I do this in the bathroom, in the kitchen, is you could take your Arm & Hammer baking soda, and I would run a little bit of water into the sink and disposal, turn it off, and I would add as much baking soda into the disposal as you possibly can. I'm talking maybe 2 boxes. And just a smidge of water just to get it all poked down in there, but not a lot of water. I'm just talking maybe, you know, or take a, I don't know, just something to shove all of this down into the disposal. And then you want to take 1 cup of vinegar and go ahead and pour that in, and it will bubble and it'll do its thing. And then I put hot water in the microwave in this little bowl, and I put it in for 4.5 minutes, so it's really steaming hard, and I don't know if you can even see it, but this is really, really steaming really hard. These things right here are my absolute favorite. Now, you don't want to do too much vinegar often into your disposal because it is acidic and could eat the rubber gaskets and stuff. So I wouldn't do this as often, and I would definitely make sure that you run a lot of water. Once you got the hot water through, I would add, and I would plug your sink and then add, you know, a whole sink full of water, unplug it, and then run it all the way down. And then run your disposal while all that water's running down, because it'll help just get any little nooks and crannies out. My other top thing I like to do is I like to go ahead and just plug in the sink, turn on the tap, run the sink about halfway up. I do this about every other day, and once the sink gets really high, say, up to halfway, and then I just go ahead and take the plunger out, turn on the disposal, and just let it run. And I do that really, really often, and it does seem to help. So those are the top things that you could do. The other thing you could do is buy a lemon and just zest it, grate it up really fine, and then pour the juice of the lemon and the grate of the lemon into. Now, don't throw like lemon peels. I want you to grate it fine with a grater. And then throw the lemon juice and the grated lemon in there. Run a whole sink full of water, and then unplug it, turn on the disposal, and run it all down, and then it'll smell lemony fresh. That's another thing you can do. If you don't have real lemon, you can do a little bit of lemon juice. I would pour the lemon juice in, let it sit for 10-15 minutes, and then come back, plug my sink, run hot water, or boil water, or put it in the microwave for 3 or 4 minutes. I would throw hot water in there, and then again turn on the taps and run the disposal. So there's a bonus for you. Especially if you want it to smell lemony fresh, you could take lemon juice from the fridge in a bottle, or squeeze a fresh lemon, throw it in there, run a little bit of water, and everything will be lemon and fresh. So that is really quick, really easy, those top things. I will tell you too, they make different color scratch pads. The blue is the softer, and then the green and yellow is a more coarse, harder scratch pad. Depending on what kind of sink you have, you probably need to buy this one. And if you use a lot of these, you can throw it in your dishwasher all by themselves, and then do a high temp wash and a sanitize cycle, and it would clean your sponges. I do that from time to time, and then I just throw them away once I've had them for just a little while. I do not do dishes with a sponge. I did that because I was going to clean the sink, so I thought I'd do a quick household hack. But these you would want, if you're going to do this method where you're going to put a lot of dishwashing liquid in there, and you're going to put something in there and scrub, don't turn on the disposal while you're doing that step, please. But you're going to need to throw these away if you use them and you stick them in there and swish them around. Make sure that you don't have anybody where they can turn that disposal on. In fact, if you can go to the breaker box and flip it off while you're busy, and then flip it back on just for safety's sake. But the vinegar and the baking soda is one of my top favorites. If you have Stinky, and if you find yourself with fruit flies all over your kitchen, you've thrown away the potatoes in the pantry, you've thrown away the apples and the bananas, and there's nothing left, it could be your disposal where the fruit flies, there's residue in there. It could also be your dishwasher if you are the type of person who doesn't scrape and rinse everything off. They could be living in your pipes. So that's another thing if you find yourself with fruit flies, but that's a whole other video. So I'm going to jump off here. I hope these household hacks help you during the holidays, especially if you start getting a stinky disposal. And I'll be doing one soon on your dishwasher. So you guys have a wonderful holiday. Hope this helps. Some of these you could do quick and easy and nobody even has to know. The ice cubes and the kosher salt. Quick, easy, simple, done. You know, a lot of dishwashing liquid, hot water would help too. So I'm going to jump off here, guys.